Welcome back. You ever wonder why men can't keep their promises? I know a lot of women would say, well, they're not trustworthy. They just don't care. Well, do you think that's really true? I mean, don't they keep their commitments and promises to their work and their hobbies and other things? So it can't be that they just don't care because they are able to keep their commitments. What if I told you there's some deeper reasons going on that men can't keep their promises and I was going to share them with you? Would you be interested in that? Well, if you are, keep watching because I'm going to walk you into what's really going on, why men, and this would hold true for women as well, why they can't keep their promises. So this all comes from a client of mine who was in my office recently, and she just brought up how her husband doesn't keep promises. And one of the things she said about the dynamic they have is that he's constantly begging for connection, intimacy, sexual and non-sexual, lots of connection. But she says every time we plan something, he always finds a reason to back out. They'd planned this weekend to get away, and then all of a sudden, last minute, he's like, oh, I can't, too much work. And she said this is a constant theme. He's begging for all of this connection, and yet when we get close to it, he doesn't keep his promise. Well, here's why. The first thing to recognize is this. Every single relationship out there, all of us, none of us are immune. We're all codependent. Every movie we've seen, every book we've read, every love song we've heard, everything, even our parents, the relationship that we've all been taught is codependence. It's not actual love. It's a dysfunctional dynamic. And the question is, how far is somebody on the scale? How codependent are they? It's a spectrum, right? And so some people are more severe. Now, the other thing at play here is something called love addiction and love avoidance. What most people don't realize is, as part of that codependence, every one of us is either primarily a love addict or a love avoidant. All right. Again, it's a spectrum. We can be both, and we can, be a love addict with a friend and a love avoidant with our spouse and all of this. These are all intertwined into that codependence. And again, it's a spectrum. There's severe addicts and avoidance, but there's, some that range more around here. Well, that's them. She's primarily an avoidant. He's primarily an addict. Well, here, let me tell you what the characteristics are. A characteristic of the addict is their conscious fear. What they're scared to death of is abandonment. That's why he's so hungry for connection and spending all this time together. I need connection. Don't leave me. Talk to me. Be with me all the time. Does that sound familiar? Whether that's you or someone you've dated. Now, what's subconscious, what he's unaware of, is his greatest fear is intimacy and connection. And that's why he keeps canceling. That's why he can't keep his promises. And this is true for almost all men. Underneath, there's a fear of intimacy. Now, it could be as the addict, where just like her husband, he's begging for all this connection, but when the time for connection comes, he disappears and breaks his promise. That's because he's not aware that underneath he's scared to death of it. Now, the avoidant, this is what's fascinating. They're the polar opposite. An avoidant, their conscious fear is intimacy and connection. Their subconscious fear is abandonment. And so, it used to be almost all men were avoidant. Well, that trend is changing as we've shifted the dynamics with women and empowering them. What we've done is we have falsely empowered them. We have created women who are avoidants. And so this is characterized by outside intensity. They don't have fights. They don't like deep discussions. They get worn out quickly by anything emotional. They don't like to argue because to argue they might lose their power. This is a power position. Do you see, when we are avoiding, the other is chasing. We are always in power in this dynamic. And so she's primarily the avoidant. That's why he's chasing all the time for connection. But then when it comes down to it, he freaks out, runs away. Well, she came into my office. What's she doing? Remember what her subconscious fear is? Abandonment. So now she's like, why doesn't he keep his promises? Now she's scared to death. Oh my God, he's leaving me. But the second he turns back, because she'll come into my office bouncing between, oh my God, he's suffocating, he won't stop talking, he wants this and this and this, and I can never do enough, and my God, we spent all weekend together, and then he's upset because Monday night we didn't go out to dinner, and so you notice why couples are constantly, they say opposites attract. Well, the truth of it is, it's love avoidant, love addict. And you notice that constant push-pull in a relationship, everyone's always walking away from the other. You see that? That's love addiction, love avoidance. That's why both men and women can't keep their promises. Underneath, in different ways, both are petrified of intimacy and connection. Now, what causes that? Well, that can be many things. Lots of times they were smothered in childhood. There can be abuse, lots of that. What I'd encourage you is, just recently I did a whole series on codependence recovery. So go to my website, www.thegreatnessuniversity.com, click the videos tab, and you'll see all of my videos are categorized by type or by playlist. Go to the codependence section. Just watch all the videos and you'll learn about, what creates the avoidant, what creates the addict, why there's this push-pull, how each side needs to work on their codependence to move them into moderation so that they can be intimately close with each other. So his chasing isn't so suffocating and makes her want to turn away. And also so he can see that she can't fill that hole. It's his job to meet his needs himself. And when he does that, then he won't be so afraid of intimacy. He will be able to keep his promises and show up in both sides. So that's why men and women can't keep their promises. Underneath it is severe codependence, love addiction, love avoidance. It's a spectrum. And so the solution, as I always say, is go become an expert. And the way to become an expert is go to my website, www.thegreatnessuniversity.com. Go to the video section, look for the codependency playlist, and all your answers are right there, okay? The other thing, if you want to take it a step further, go to my same website, look under book recommendations, and you'll see one called Facing Love Addiction by Pia Mellody. This book, I personally believe, no person should ever be allowed to even go on a date. Like, it should be the first class every student takes in college. Like, they should take Facing Codependence, Facing Love Addiction, and Intimacy Factor. Those three should be required courses. Reading those books and a deep study on those, because if you don't know that information, you can't have a healthy relationship. It's not possible. And there's proof of that. The divorce rate is over 50%. If you've been divorced 3 times, just like me, well, twice, not 3 times. The only reason is I didn't learn this stuff. They didn't teach us. And so it's impossible to have a healthy, functional relationship unless you have these skills and tools. And so if you want to learn about love addiction and love avoidance, pick up the book, Facing Love Addiction. Again, it can be found on my website under the book recommendations. I think I've even done a book review on it to tell you, what you can expect. But it'll transform those 2 books, Facing Codependence, Facing Love Addiction. If you're not finding the relationship of your dreams, if you keep finding men or women that don't keep their promises, it's because you don't have that information and you are subconsciously picking somebody to relive the pain from your past. And until you heal that, until both sides do the recovery work, this is the result. So we all have a choice. We get to decide if we're sick and tired of the type of relationship we've been experiencing. We might want to experience looking into gaining some new knowledge, skills, and tools. And if we do, we will attract and pick people that feel the same way, and we will get the love we deserve. And that's my hope for everyone. So if you think this will help somebody, please share it. Leave me your comments. Let me know what you think. Also, if you like it, just hit the like button. And as I always say, enjoy the journey.